Dire team ban. Dire team pick.
Dusk.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to game number 2 in the bo3 series between Fantastic 5 and Team Empire in the Dota 2 Champions League. My name is Dragon Drop. I'm joined by Revo. How's it going?
It's going pretty good, and hey, Fantastic 5 aren't playing around. They're bringing out mommy.
Yeah, I'm really happy
put
with
you in
Team
timeout.
Oh yeah. The Broodmother, that might actually cause some problems for Team Empire, who go for the Beastmaster Lich straight off the bat once again. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And after the last game, I'm really impressed with Empire's play. But I'm not so impressed with the Twitter guy who is calling me out for my music, so shame on you. But hey, if you're listening,
come on,
I'll play
that bad.
something. Yeah, I'll play something for you at the end of the match. So after the credits. So how's that sound? But yeah, just as a little side note here, what do you think about picking a Broodmother in the first phase? I mean, it feels like there's still plenty of picks left to figure out a way to deal with it.
Even if you figure out a way to deal with it, you're building your lineup theoretically around a hero shutting down an offlaner, which potentially means their hard carry just roams free and doesn't care. So it could work. Team Empire, though, still getting the Beastmaster Lich, a little surprising.
Yeah, I mean, it's still a very strong offlane, right? We still have the similar kind of bans.
Yeah, and they did so much work last game. I question whether they'd be able to do that very well, but...
Yeah, the question for me is whether, with Lich being probably tied up in that offlane once again, whether Broodmother won't have too much space, right? It's as you were saying, if you're able to get to the point where you can put on all that pressure, then that Broodmother just takes over the lane, takes over the jungle, and then just is generally a big problem for your supports. And Lich is one of those that cannot really deal with the Broodmother at any point in the game. It'll be annoying early on where he gets picked off if he roams to his own jungle, and later on, well, the Chain Frost not really effective if there's a bunch of spiderlings around you. But
yeah,
the thing is, if you pick up something like a Slaughter now for Team Empire, once he hits his level 6 and once Broodmother shows itself once you get your Blink Dagger, it's just nowhere for the Broodmother to really go. And that's one of the counters we've seen emerge recently as teams start to figure out how to handle her. It just really comes to the question really becomes whether you can zone her out enough early on before you can transition into that kind of a long-term solution that doesn't really keep you too much from the rest of the game plan, right? That doesn't really take away too much from for what else you want to do. And the Slaughter would probably fit once again in this lineup. I mean, it's the same lineup that we've seen last game so far, at least.
Yeah, definitely. And I question Fantastic 5's potential here, really.
Yeah, why is that?
I just don't see it as a very solid lineup. I don't like the Alk ban. Empire just showed that you can deal with it, and I think Fantastic 5 should just look at that and say, okay, we can deal with Alk too.
Yep.
But Shadow Fiend coming out for Empire here. And it's currently the exact same lineup.
Yeah.
In fact, they could still get the exact same lineup.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? I mean,
Exactly.
I don't know that Empire would have gone for the Alchemists, or the Axe for that matter. Of course, Axe, one of the more interesting heroes up against Broodmother. Not really a counter, but something that can deal with spiderlings early on. It's just a hero that you can't just right-click down as a Broodmother, at least not with going the standard spiderling build. You can handle him with a bite build, right? But it's something different. That's the high art of Broodmother, so to speak. But yeah, don't have to talk about that too much just yet, as we are trying to figure out what Fantastic 5 will want to pick up right now. So, okay, it's going to be a Razor, so that can be one position, that can be mid lane as well. Up against the Shadow Fiends? Yeah, how would you like that actually? Razor versus Shadow Fiend? Mid matchup?
Razor should win that out. Should. Just because of the drain. And Shadow Fiend's relatively low base damage can be a serious factor. However,
Lena.
it's still to the point where Empire can do it, and it looks like the same lineup. I wouldn't be surprised to see Fantastic 5, ban out the Slaughter here.
Yeah, me either. I mean, that's, as I said before, it's one of the better heroes to deal with the Broodmother, so it's not being picked up just yet. So Empire might just look at that and say, alright, if you leave us a Slaughter again, still works in this game against Brood, up against Razor as well, who can build tanky armor. It's a little bit of less convenient though for Slaughter, simply because you do get the shock whenever you try to put the amplified damage up on him. At the same time, you usually just blink in on the Razor, crush before you can do anything, and then it doesn't really matter too much that you receive that shock. But yeah, we'll see if they want to ban it out or not. Still looking for more heroes that can kind of play 4 and 5 for the most part, that can try and put up a fight, try and sustain through a fight. So that's why I really like the Dazzle ban here from Team Empire. Just make sure that the Broodmother gets as much space as she can down on bottom lane. That Empire can't really spend too many, or has to spend a lot of extra resources that they can't afford to try and deal with her. And that's really where Broodmothers usually thrive in these kind of circumstances, where they can just, where they basically just have to be left alone at some point because they're too annoying to deal with.
Yeah.
But it is the Rubik pick here instead, and Phantom Lancer ban. That's not a hero that I expected from Fantastic 5 here, I gotta say.
Yeah, if they pick Phantom Lancer, you just get Earthshaker. Yeah. The question is, though, do Fantastic 5 ban the Earthshaker here, or do they get rid of the Slaughter?
I would still ban the Slaughter, I guess.
Yeah, if you do have Earthshaker on the enemy team, that's some great steals for Rubik, at least.
Yeah, that is true.
So there is a consolation, kind of.
And generally, there's a number of good spells to steal. I mean, if you get the Beast
there's
spells
already
for Hawk.
Great spells to steal. They'll ban the Bristle back.
Spirit.
Oh, the Ember Spirit. How could we forget about Ember Spirit? Oh my god.
Because they banned PL. I mean, if you ban PL, you're generally not going to pick Ember Spirit, right? It doesn't make sense to me, but...
Of course it does. I mean, Ember Spirit is so strong right now.
Yeah, but he's great against PL.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that he's not great against any other hero, right? There's your logic is a little bit off there, I gotta say.
I'm trying to say, if you're gonna pick Ember Spirit, there's no need to ban PL, because even if they pick PL, like, you could ban something else, and they'll get the Legion. Now, I will say one thing here. Legion is fantastic in the current meta. Her base damage was increased by 4, I think, but she's got over 60 base damage now, which is insane to right-click just last hit with. Looks like mid-Legion? No. Probably off-lane, or safe-lane Legion, I guess.
Yeah, probably.
She does provide lockdown, though, for Ember Spirit. Now, she has to win that duel to really profit off of it, but it is going to give them something to lock Ember Spirit down with, which is oftentimes the biggest problem against an Ember Spirit.
Absolutely. That is absolutely right, and that's what they were lacking. They had a little bit of short lockdown here between Rubik and Tusk, a little bit of slows, but that duel, especially up against an Ember Spirit who really relies on this mobility to re-engage, to constantly re-engage, because if you actually lock him down with a stun or with a duel, he's actually quite squishy, especially if you're able to burst through a Flame Guard somehow. There's not actually too much magical bursts here on Fantastic 5's lineup, but still. Even if you're just a physical damage, you just cut through what little armor he has so quickly that Ember Spirit can have a lot of problems, unless he just immediately remnants out the moment he sees Legion Commander blink in, which isn't always really easy. Just always easy. Of course, the whole thing will look a little bit different if Ember Spirit doesn't get picked off constantly, and he can eventually build up something like a Lincoln Sphere. So that buys you that little bit of extra time to react and still get out if you want to play for split push. But I still like the Ember Spirit here. It's also one of the things that deal with the Spiderlings later on, once you have a little bit of extra damage and of course the max Sleight of Fist. And generally a hero that scales very well into the late game. I mean, if you have an Ember Spirit, Usually the later you go, the harder he gets to deal with, because he gets more tanky, he gets much more damage.
Yeah, Ember Spirit and Legion Commander both having that kind of scale into the late game factor here. Unlike the Brood and the Razor and the Shadow Fiend, I'd say, but Brood's gonna have a rough time here. I still think Legion is a good pick and it can work out, especially considering how much you saw Empire wanting to group up. Getting a good overwhelming odds off could potentially just completely wreck a team. So,
yep. You do have some extra summons here if you consider the Beastmaster. Not just the Boars and Hogs, but also the Necrobook that he will probably build up at some point, so there's even extra fuel for that. I would agree with you, that's a really good last pick. The problem with Legion Commander that you always have though is that you need to get dual wins to scale, and you don't have too much extra burst to help you with that, unless you like already have the Razor there stabbing a lot of damage. So it's kind of the one problem that I see here that's not really all that easy to execute with Fantastic 5, I feel.
Yeah, it's not an easy lineup to execute at all. So, sorry for stuttering there.
Just relax, you're doing fine.
The Revo
my chat wheel doesn't work because it's on Y and it's the same as network, so...
Yeah.
But yeah, standard pause here. I'm missing one of Team Empire. That'll be a lower dance who's... I don't know what he's doing. 2 minutes, they said. 2 minutes ago. Okay. Ah, well, the one time that you expect the game to go smoothly and on time. Of course.
Yeah, of course.
Empire, please. Okay. Empire Twitter guy said though that he'll wait for decent music, so...
Okay. That's good.
That'll be after the broadcast concludes, so no worries.
Yeah.
I have a plan.
I'm worried now.
Laugh. Yeah, that was an evil laugh going into the cough.
Oh, okay. Your evil cough?
Yeah, evil laugh going into a cough. Okay. Regardless, the game actually starts, so let's take a look at the lineups. Starting
with TPing down quick, too.
Yeah, just to play support. But yeah, starting with Team Empire, we've got Resolution once again on that Beastmaster. He's being followed by Yoku, playing that Shadow Friend. No Fear once again on the Lich, reprising his role. Silence on one of his better heroes, I want to say here, that Ember Spirits, and then Aloha Dance back on the Lina. So not much of a difference in Team Empire's lineup here, but still very strong looking here in this game.
And on the other side of the river, we'll have Yol on the Tusk. Razor will be played by BZZ under the tag 633. We'll have Kingar here on the Rubik. Ghostic will be on the offlane Broodmother, going ahead and getting a web down to help secure that rune. And last but not least, it's going to be Sedoi on the Legion Commander, going with pretty solid starting item build. This is actually the build I go for, except I don't grab the branch so I can get a quick Quelling Blade. What I'm curious about, though, is Sedoi is going toward the bot lane right now.
Yeah, I gotta wonder if that's just to secure the rune, make sure that you can grab that, or...
Brood's going top.
Okay, that is a little bit more interesting, yeah.
So they tried to, like, place down the web to fake that Brood's bot, and then, swap her out.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's okay, but since they didn't actually see the web, probably don't want to even commit your web down there at all.
Yep. I do actually like this because that way you dodge the Ember Spirit. Never mind, Silence. He's up top here as well, so forget everything I just said. Looks like Empire, they knew what was happening. So, what you really don't want is a Broodmother with an Ember Spirit because, well, he gets close to you with a Flame Guard. You don't really have a good way to dispel it.
Same thing with Lina, honestly, with the Dragon Slave. And they go ahead and place down that Sentry. Brood has a Sentry, and of course Tango's in a Quelling Blade, so should be able to take care of this.
Interesting.
Has to push the lane, I don't know.
Same time here, that leaves a Resolution down on bottom. He already lost 2 balls here, one time down and the other one got killed, I believe, with the overwhelming odds, so...
Now, BCC is going in on Shadow Fiend with relatively low HP, but Lich doesn't have a nuke here, he's just got sacrificed, and they're running down Yoki. Is it going to be enough damage? The Plasma Field won't quite get him, but it'll leave him on 83 HP, force him to pop a salve, and give BCC a little bit of an easier time last hitting and denying here for a moment.
Yeah, that's the strength of Razor, just being able to walk up, step that damage here. Shadow Fiend, of course, a ranged hero, so he can break that a little bit quicker than normal, but not with these well-placed eye shards. I mean, I really like how Yol is just trying to help out here. And Lich, of course, doing the same thing as we often see from teams, just trying to ensure that the Shadow Fiend can get some safe early CS, so you can get your damage actually up to speed.
Yeah, definitely. And Resolution's still trying to harass out on this bot lane. I don't think he's going to have a great time against this lane, simply because him summoning the boar gives a little bit of extra overwhelming odds damage. And if boar harasses out Legion, one thing people don't know is that Moment of Courage, you actually get a buff when you're attacked. That means your next attack applies Moment of Courage. So the boar actually harassing Legion out could cause extra damage for Legion, just securing a last hit or something, and also healing her up, of course. So
no fear.
Lich getting caught out in the mid lane now.
Oh, he thankfully is quite fast, even without boots, so BSZ won't actually be able to quite catch up with him. If he went for that boots first build from Razor that we see from side lanes sometimes, or even middle lanes, might be a little bit different here, but good eye shot block nonetheless. Just Yol keeping him honest here, trying to put on pressure. Knowing that Broodmother is not really a whole lot that he can do to help Ghostic anyway. And bottom lane also doesn't need too much help either.
They do put down another web up top, and it looks like Tusk is rotating up here. They're going to try to be a little aggressive so they can get down the sentry ward.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be easy at all. In fact, Rubik is coming as well. They may be able to grab Aloha Dance as they trap him in with the shards.
Nice block indeed. He tries to angle for Lightstroke Array, only gets Yol, and now Ghosting just right-clicking here, follow up the same here from King R. And that's the first blood drawn by Ghosting here. And it's talking about how Yol couldn't really do too much, especially at level 1 with only the eye shots, but he's been able to land those perfectly, and then with the extra help from King R as well, managed actually to grab the first blood, and that makes it much easier to continue here for Ghosting in this lane.
Yeah, I know Fantastic Five aren't really a well-known team, but if you are going up against them in the future and you're watching this, you may want to ban Tusk against them. Yol is very good at it. He's shown in both games. And it's just gone really well for him, so.
Well, I might want to ban Tusk in pretty much any game if you're having troubles.
I mean, that's true,
Drop to him, because he is just such a good hero. It fits to the meta as well. Melee strength seems to be the name of the game, and just the strength of being able to reposition your teammates, as well as to just make these kind of blocks on all these small little ramps. I mean, we saw it here, on the Radiance, high grounds, and even here, which is something that I haven't really seen done before, especially since this tree is usually blocked off as well. But yeah, gonna wrap around, secure the rune, and maybe look for another pickup up top. Still lower dance, level 3, so if they can get a good Light Strike Array off, as well as a bunch of Serum Chains, it's actually a lot of magical damage coming their way, but there's 3 heroes now actually. It's BZZ found himself a haste rune, decided to join, and now they will find out what's happening in silence. Gets Serum Chains off of 2, but yeah, it's only going to the inevitable BZZ. He starts a lot of damage, gets a couple of reckless in, and silence just reset.
Yeah, but Fantastic Five looking a lot better here.
Yeah.
Getting some early kills, actually winning their lanes pretty hard, especially Legion Commander, who has 27 last hits. Now, I think a lot of this is a result of that buff to her base damage. It makes her last hitting very early. This is without a Quelling Blade,
they're gonna go to Doi here down bottom.
She had duel. She had duel right there, she would have had to kill.
Absolutely. But with that, Resolution just healed up a little bit with the bottle that Lich brought back, and yeah, so Doi is all alone here, but he's still winning the lane against 2 heroes just because of that constant overwhelming odd spam. He still has the Mango to fall back on if he needs it.
Yeah, I usually like to play it with a CM or a Coddle, but if you aren't and you're having mana problems, getting that bottle is perfectly fine, especially with someone like Razor mid that they'll get a bottle, but they don't need that much mana to make things work.
Oh, low dance, another block off here, it looks like. Can't get out, BZZ is there, and that gets a stun off, and it'll still be a death. Yoku trying to trade, but misses uphill, and Yo unfortunately already spent the snowball to get the Lena, so no extra control to allow Razor to get some right clicks in. Oh, Legion Commander, wow, we actually dies down bottom. Courtesy of the Roar, it looks like, plus a little bit of nuking damage from the Lich.
Good old Roar.
See that one, yeah. At least you don't stun the boar. It's not really possible.
Yeah, don't stun the boar.
Can you duel the boar?
I don't think you can.
That's
no, you can only target heroes. Okay. See, I've played enough Legion that I would know if you could duel creeps. Believe me. I would know for sure.
You'll find out on your first game,
It would have happened, and the creep would have won the duel. Imagine if you could duel creeps,
looking
like,
for no fear, doesn't have his ultimate quite yet. And last strike click, not enough, but hey, moment of courage. Oh, no, what's it called? Overwhelming odds, yeah. Is enough to stack the kill from long range.
Yeah, even without more units in there, if it's hitting a hero, it's doing, at this level 170 and at the next level 245 or something. It's enough damage. And when they do group up like that, it is a lot of damage. Point where you completely nullify Ember's Flame Guard in a fight, you bring Shadow Fiend down to half health if you get lucky.
Might get Yoku here in mid. Whenever he steps into the river, Yol will come around. Has a snowball here. BZZ was in this for the longest time. Now stacks some damage. A little bit of extra control is necessary. He actually turns around for the Razors. Gets the Razor first and the Tusk. Oh my god, no. That
the Tusk ran out of mana.
Expected to happen here.
If he'd had mana for Ice Shards, they almost certainly would have gotten that kill, but there wasn't enough, and they realized it just a little too late, so...
Mistakes were made, and now Shadow Fiend. Yoku was near to the top of the last chart anyway, now definitely in a net worth chart. Oh, that is so disastrous here. Does he have jungle stacks to even catch up further? That's my question. Yeah, it's a triple stack at least down here at the hot camp. So that's once again promising to be a very nice game for Yoku. Same time top, it's going in here. Okay, lower ends just took some harass. Getting out though, and yeah, Silence. Despite his death, he's still taking the 41 last hits, and not so much in terms of net worth, unfortunately, but he's still keeping up. He's still keeping up there. Some of those will be Spiderlings, though.
They do want to move down here, though, and get Resolution.
Is that an easy kill, though? Not really.
Not anymore, now that Lich is here, but they can at least put pressure on the tower, and Resolution is scared enough of Legion that he's not just manning up on her until they realize that Yol leaves, because they've seen him with the sword, so...
Alright, so what did you actually think about Lich's build here? I mean, that's kind of the standard build, just forgoing the Frost Armor entirely, but...
I like Frost Armor up against Legion.
Yeah.
I think you're passing up too much.
Get a person down. Looks like a couple more Ractics will do the trick. The Snowball comes out of time. BZZ is here to try and help, but so is Yoku. So that'll definitely be a kill on the Tusk. Sadoi also just throwing out the overwhelming odds, but that's about all you can do. So 4 for 4 is the kill score. After that, extra pickup here.
Yeah, I do want to point out, Nahaz earlier, let me find it here, here we go, pulled up the laning styles like dual lane, tri-lane, etc. And dual lanes on Radiant, either the safe lane or the hard lane, have 56% and 59% win rates respectively in this patch. It's really, really good to put on that aggressive. And a tri-safe lane on the Dire only has a 39% win rate. So putting Brood here is actually helping them out a lot so that she can kind of dodge this dual lane aggression that's coming out from Team Empire. Is it going to be enough? I don't know.
Yeah, that's a question. I mean, the problem with putting Brood safe lane is it's much harder for her to actually put on pressure on a tower because you don't have too many Duke spots around it, right? At least none that would... If they got caught out, then would actually give you a lot of trouble. Like if you were in the river here trying to cross the web, but then took damage and couldn't path freely anymore. And then the only jungle you're going to take over if you're up here is your own, taking it away from the rest of your team who might be able to use it. So you're foregoing one of the better advantages that you can gain from a Broodmother if you just stick her in your own safe lane.
Yoki just gets drained by BZZ, so he fakes the ult, and then BZZ instantly backs off, so he just cancels.
That's still okay, still 87 damage here. Oh god, Resolution. Might be in trouble here, but it's only Yol up against 3. The roar comes out, Smilings are there as well, but they're all going to die to the Flame Guard. And... oh man, another one. Yol, pretty good with his movements earlier, but now, feeding his third kill is not exactly conducive to your end goal. And now Ghostic, they're looking to try and find him. They keep picking up these Spiderlings. That's an extra source of income there.
Yeah. Just getting those extra souls is going to help him out a lot. It is looking like a Sajin Yasha coming up for Yoki.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure how I feel about this. It does give you some nice stats at least. But I'd much rather see some sort of sustain item to come out, especially as aggressive as Fantastic Five are being at the moment.
If they're playing it like last game, they're gonna look to No Fear to build that mechanism up at some
Oh,
point.
no.
Oh god, no.
Was that with the
Oh.
bottle?
That was with... Hang on. That was with the bottle, yeah. That's Yoku's bottle.
Oh, and Aloha Dance. 2 hits from that army of spiders almost brought him down. He's at 2/3 or 1/3 of HP right now. Now he will get bottled back up thanks to Beastmaster.
Oh wow, they're gonna smoke up. They're gonna use that fact that I think, alright, Aloha Dance probably back to base. Probably no aggression coming out for them, but smoking up, they have to hawk to scout. They
Yeah.
also have Silent on the front line, so you'll likely target once again. He's the only one who's actually in the vicinity here. It's not the
There's
one
a
they want
spider
though.
scouting out as well, but it's not going to see anything. So Ghostic thinks he's safe, but he is far
Oh,
from
they will
safe. But they
find
will
the
find him.
mama. Yep. Easy.
Natural
And
side.
now another one's Silent. Remnant's up to Yori, is teleporting out, but no,
Not gonna be enough.
never mind. Is the mini stun actually coming out when you cast the ult? It feels like that. Or did he just cancel the teleport himself? Like really weird sometimes how this looks.
Dire's top tower.
Yeah, it's
Radiant's
looking
bottom tower is
pretty
under attack.
bad for Fantastic Five, I think. Like, it's... Empire are getting their lanes won now. Sure, a lot of their CS are in spiders, which is not exactly the best thing to invest your creeps in, but they're getting things done. Legion has yet to win a duel 12 minutes in. This
Yep.
is the worst sign. He is going for a Blink Dagger, which I believe he'll have right now. And while that's good and all,
Oh,
you've gotta be able to do
resolution!
something.
He's gonna go with multiple mistake. Raw stolen here. Plus a duel. That's the first duel win that you were looking for. But Silence comes in as well. Low dance will be falling. So BZ's the same for BZZ. The Silence still going strong, but out of mana. He can't even run the back if he wanted to. There's another couple of stick charges, but that's not enough to actually help No Fear survive. And that's 3
Can
for
they
1
get
trade
this
so
one?
far. Plus the duel win. Now Yoku comes back to try and clean
They've got an
house. Will
overwhelming
only clean
odds.
spiders for the time being. But now the turnaround once again. The eye shots come out. Will miss. Silent though. Being bursted down by all the magic damage. And Ghostic almost dies to Requiem here. The snowball will save him, and they do get Yoku, the mini Requiem in the tower. Almost killing off.
not gonna get
Yo.
Yol. Oh, no, the creep just gave up.
Oh man, the heal from Sidoi there. That guy, he has been delivering this game so far.
As soon as I say he
coming out
doesn't
from the
have any
main stage.
duels, he
What?
gets the blink and he just puts it right in. I was just saying,
Yeah,
like, okay, you don't have any
exactly.
duels, this is bad. And he's like, I don't have any duels. Yeah, I don't, let's go get some.
Yeah, he's at a pretty passive laning stage. He's had pretty much free farm down at bottom. He put that to a blink tag, and that's exactly the timing that they were looking for. Start fighting, and Empire
It's
were
gonna be
ready,
Blade Mail, it looks like,
but
too.
they weren't able to actually win the fight, and didn't even get the task at that time because of that excellent heal from the Legion Commander coming out, keeping the Tusk alive. Fortunately, they do lose Ghostic again here to that secondary ultimate, the Death ultimate from the Shadow Fiend, but still. Great fight for Fantastic Five, and that puts them right back into the game, and they might get more here. Snowball onto a low end, CI shots as well. Easy pickup, if they just take it, there we go. I'm gonna give it to BZ. And as well, Dragon Slave stolen by Rubik, very nice pile to have. Oh, bottom lane, what's going on here? Ghostic. Trying to set up a shop down here in the bottom lane now. Now finally Empire is being tasked with dealing with a spider infestation in their own jungle.
Top tower is under attack.
Yep. Can take a look at the graphs now. Yeah, as I said, game's right back. Empire had about a 3,000 gold lead now, back to 0. Same for the experience, and this is the kind of timing that we're looking for.
Yeah, everything's zeroed out now. Ghostic getting roared? Why?
Yeah, it's just, I don't know.
I think he was just saying hello.
Hey guys,
Hey!
just saying hello a little bit too loudly, right?
Yeah,
Hello! Oh my god, my ears.
got stunned a little bit and then realized,
Yeah.
oh, we're fine. Hey,
I don't
Beastmaster,
know
how's it
you.
going?
He just walks away. Oh well. He will be fine though. He has an Orchid, so I really like that fighting build coming out from Ghostic. Enables him to contribute a little bit more in fights, and that's the kind of game that FF is playing. They need everyone to pull on one line, essentially on one rope, for the Legion Commander to get more duels now.
Is under attack.
It's gonna be the name of the game. I mean, get duels, restrict farm, make sure that you don't lose all your towers again. And for now, consider how the map looked like last time around. This 50 minutes into the game, they've succeeded.
Oh, definitely. It's looking a lot better. All their heroes are being active around the map. and just getting things done. You're not saying, okay, well, let's invest in our late game when you don't have much late game. You're saying, let's go do something right now, get Legion some duels, and start snowballing. Because they know Ember's got a big threat late game. And they let him get fat, will crush him. There is no doubt about that, especially against a Brood.
Yep.
In fact, checking back in on Ember, he does have his phase drums done. Probably going for Battle Fury next. I mean, I don't see why not.
Yeah, what do you actually think about this phase drums build? Because, I don't know, it's kind of old school?
It's what you need most of the time. If you don't go drums, you often end up dying a lot before you get your Battle Fury, unless you get Boots of Travels and are able to split push. If he goes Boots of Travels here, we have a big problem because you can't be as aggressive at those travels.
Oh, Ghosting, they will find him. There's a Raw in range this time. And easy pick off. Yeah. That just seems like the Boots of Travel build on Ember has been coming into favor recently much more often. Oh wow, that's a 2-for-1 special there for BCZ, gets both of the Hawks with one plasma field, but now more casualties, about to get Snowball off though. Is Yol, he's gonna come back in, stun up a couple of heroes, but the Chain Frost also comes out, BCZ trying to do what he can, but he doesn't actually have too much damage. But Sadoi does have it, or does he? No! Resolution is the winner of this duel, and now the momentum in favor of Team Empire. They get 4 heroes in total. Only trade Lenafoot, and hey, might have to revise the number upwards. King it takes so much damage from a couple of right things. Silent, he's going to be the one to Remnant in. King actually steals the Remnants. But
he tried.
Actually looked like Rubik as well, it's hilarious, but... He
tried short-lived flaming Rubik down here.
Yeah, it's a 5-man wipe, and tier 1 tower to boot. Empire, coming back into just right here. Just a little bit of a hiccup, giving up a couple of pickoffs, and now just turning it right around again.
And this is the point where Beastmaster currently has more dual damage than Legion does. I mean, we laugh, but this is a big problem. You want to go for duels that are isolated pickoffs. Like, you find Lich alone, you duel the shit out of him, excuse my French, but he's an easy kill. You find the whole team, generally, unless you're already really fat, you don't want to duel anyone, simply because you're going to end up dying if there's 5 versus 1. It's just going to happen. And now Brood is... oh, fine. Never mind.
And that's why he needs... could also use some help from his teammates, but we don't really see a Lina, we don't see a Lion, we don't see a Skyrim Mage, or a Witch Doctor even. Someone that can really start laying down burst immediately after you pop the duel, so you can get that extra bit of damage that you just don't quite have just yet on the Legion Commander. And now they're gonna provide a little bit of that with the Medallion of Courage actually coming out. There's a duel here. Resolution very low on health. Goes like you see him trying to help. That's a duel win. Yol coming back in to try and control the rest, but Yoku is there. He's laying in on them with the razors, but no casualties just yet, at least on the side of Fantastic 5. Silent and Yoko, they will realize that, but nice ice shots actually keep him up. The damage drain will start. He tries to chance his ultimate, but no can do. Get another kill, and yeah, this game looks much more even than the last one. And what, the gem?
Beastmaster had a gem, so he could D-ward with the Hawk and the Boar, and it's gone now. Tuska's now carrying that.
Oh man.
And losing that against Brood means you have a lot of time where you can't get gem. And I mean, of course, there's other forms of True Sight, but 8 minutes. That was a fresh gem.
Yep. There's the Blade Mail on the Sadoi, and Aegis on presumably BZZ here as he drops the teleport scroll. Middle lane might be the trade-off. Silent here gets the last hit and Remnants out. But yeah, I think FF will be fine with that.
I mean, you could have gotten a duel maybe, but chances are Ember's going to keep getting away. He's still a bit farther behind on his Battle Fury than he'd like to be, still sitting about 1700 to go on it. And that really is the item you need to be able to start fights on Ember. And he comes online a bit late. He comes online in a big way though, so it can make a difference.
Yep, I mean, if you go for the phase drums build, there's a small timing window where you can fight without a Battle Fury. But it's more reliant on you getting a Serum Chains off and you getting a lot of Flame Guard damage done, and even Remnant damage. As Yol just tries to battle up with one of his illusions. But yeah, once you have that Battle Fury, you have that extra damage, you have the cleave potential. And that not only augments your team fight, but also accelerates your farm. And yeah, the reason that he's not really getting really good timing on it is that he went for this phase drums build though, and hasn't really found too many kills with it. Even died in extra time just now, so it's
Yeah.
if you had Boots of Travel there, that's also an item that really augments your farming speed, right? Because you can just spam your spells, go back to base every minute or so, and just get back all your mana back.
Yeah. Assuming you have map control.
Fortified.
Yeah.
Just keep in mind, in the early game when he was basically making decisions about his build, he didn't have any map control. And
Radiant's bottom tower.
I think that's why he went for this. Maybe in hindsight, the Boots of Travel would have worked out, but
Dire's top tower.
with the way Fantastic Four were playing, you had to make that adjustment at the time. And Beastmaster does have his Necro 3, so it does kind of make up for the lack of that gem. It's a gem sometimes that they can kill.
Dire's top tower.
Gem on demand, I guess, if you want to call it that. Gonna smoke up here now as 5. Didn't know that Fantastic 5
Oh,
was
Sidoi!
but I can't get to him in time.
Yeah, no blink on the Beast yet, so can't
Go
blink
stick
Roar
though.
and Go Stick.
Yeah,
In a lot of
they
trouble
see him
here.
Did
They
actually
did get him dusted.
Oh, they did get him dusted, okay. Looked for a second like they didn't actually get it off, but
Yeah.
they finally
And
pick
all the
off.
spiders. They're gonna see these.
Courier.
Oh, they got the courier though.
What?
That's the big issue. But
It's a courier-
Yoki's just gonna raise him up, so it's fine. Shouldn't Broodmother be the one raising the spiders? She is their mother after all.
Yeah. I
Thanks,
guess
I'll be
that
here
would
all
make
week.
more sense, but yeah. That's the second time the Skura goes down, isn't it?
Radiant's
Once up top here when it was delivering something. When the webs are still on top lane. Both times to the Broodmother, so I guess that's one way to get value out of that pick, I guess. But... Oh,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, still the one problem that I see for Fantastic 5 as well as they're doing so far, Yoku. He has BKB Sergeant Yasha with the Dominator, 13k net worth, and now he's still a bane to fight, unless you have ways to control him, so almost feels like Yol and King R have to devote the control on him rather than anyone else.
Yeah,
Just
you
make
can't
sure
really
that he
just-
doesn't just wreck you. Yeah.
You can't really just jump in and duel him because if you die, he gets even more fat. It's just that's the problem with Legion still, is that yes, you can snowball forward, but you can also do so much harm to your team if you lose a few duels. And
Oh,
BCZ
wow,
getting
Razor.
healed up, nice purge there.
Going
And a
on a
good
low
lift,
end,
a
so
duel
there's
coming
a
in.
duel, easy win. And that's exactly what they were baiting out. Oh, there's a roar coming in the back onto Ghost. They could try to be sneaky. He is still alive a little bit thanks to Yol, but now the Chain Frost actually does quite a good number of bounces, and that'll get them extra damage. They should win the fight. 3 for 2 trades so far. Aegis is down. It will probably be a secondary kill. It's BZ. He
Yeah.
desperately tries to top it out. So 4 for 2 in the end, and that just turned from good to really, really bad in just a heartbeat.
Legion either needs to go for something like a BKB or an AC, in my opinion. You need to give something to your team in terms of sustain. And if it's you sustaining with the BKB, that's great. If it's the AC, I think it's even better because it's going to give your team survivability against Ember. To an extent, at least. So.
Yeah. At some point you need that AC, you need that Vladimir's offering, and whoever wants to pick that up. We'll have to find the right timing for it, and yeah, as I said, Yoku survived, he did a lot of damage, and they did finish up the Ember Spirit up top here, that's what Ghosting was going for, I believe. But then, you find yourself into such a small choke point here if you just try to fight into that between the trees and the tower, and choke points is not what you want to do up against a Shadow Fiend like that.
Yeah, it's very easy for him to get a good Requiem off, especially with Beastmaster and Ember giving those long-range stuns. I'm considering Ember's Searing Chains to be kind of long-range with Sleight of Fist. And just setting up that Requiem very nicely, not to mention the Lich Ult on top, just to slow everybody down. It's very hard to Delta Split when you've just been Beastmaster roared.
Yep.
So.
Also the slow from the ultimate, I think they lined that up quite nicely with the Chain Frost, right? Get the slow off from that, and then just make it so much harder to just get the hell out. But
Yeah.
at the very least, they have another gem here. I think they brought one back earlier. I don't know. It was
Did they
still the
get
one
it
gem
off of
from-
Tusk?
I don't know. I think it was on the courier earlier. Then I don't know.
No, the gem's here. It's no fears, so.
Yeah, it's still the same gem. I was just
Yeah.
a little bit confused why it was on courier again.
Sorry, I thought you were saying Empire had it and they killed
No,
Tusk
no.
to get it, but this game is looking a lot closer than Game 1 for sure. I mean, you can just look at the roller coaster of a gold graph that we
Oh,
got
yeah.
here. The resolution does disconnect, but
Well, it gives us a chance to breathe and actually take a... Yeah, I would have loved to actually look at the grass, but the last bit is kind of obscured by the game is paused.
Yeah, it's just another hump.
It's like... Yeah. Yeah.
Ironically enough, it's kind of the opposite of the XP graph.
It is. It is. Not quite the opposite, but a little bit of a different magnitude for sure. Experience still in favor of Empire here with 4k gold. Not so much as the towers now start falling in favor of Fantastic 5 as I do miss a pick off here onto Ghostic once again. It's 4, 6, and 7. Not the most impressive Broodmother score, but Resolution finds themselves something with that true sight from the Necroburg as well as the Blink Roar. Blink, of course, something that you just now picked up.
And again, it's the same thing Legion did, just picking up that Blink and instantly making a play with it. You need to do something with it, otherwise they see, hey, he has a Blink. We gotta be more careful. If you get a kill, they can't be more careful before that kill, so...
Oh, that's something that you have to be careful of with though. I mean, I don't know if you just noticed, but Resolution just right-click his Necroburg onto Sedoi, just turn around, got a save right-click. It's 200 extra gold. That is not insignificant. But they're gonna go on Yo. That's a little bit more than 200. But force a snowball. Actually, I'm not quite sure if that's the right idea. Just what the hell? What
and there's Ember's Battle Fury. Dragon Slave does come out for Rubik at least.
They're gonna go for a
lower nice move to have.
Oh, Sedoi didn't get the duel off! They were a little bit too good with that.
They can duel something else.
They can.
6
but they have to catch up first. No fear, that one will not bounce, so that might be an extra duel, but no.
There's the duel.
There it is! They wanted from Silent. And yeah, with the Blade Mail. No armor to speak of.
Yeah, Sedoi played that out very well. He was sitting back in the fight to make sure the Lich ult could not bounce to him. So Razor runs forward to say, Lich ult me, we're all here, just kidding, it won't bounce. And then the Blink's still up, so that you can finish off that duel. It was a very smart play, and I think even if BZZ had died for it, it would have been worth it. Assuming they get the duel, of course.
Yep. And so they did get a very good triple kill, and once again, Goldgraph just started spiking in favor of Empire. Now we'll go back down again, same for experience, and yeah, you have to remember the extra advantages that you get as well if you have someone like a Legion Commander on your team. That extra damage at a decent pace, I guess. 56 by 30 minutes, give or take. Not the worst I've ever seen.
I believe there is a full butterfly coming up very soon for Yoki. In fact, he's only about 900 away from it or so, or 1,000. Sorry, math is hard.
Yeah. That is actually scary. Does have the Eagle Song with the Quarterstaff on the scurry, and yeah, once again, you look at the left side, see the net worth, and it's 17.6k on that Shadow Fiend, and you have no idea where he gets that much, and then you look at the skills, and you see, alright, 9 kills. 2
yeah, he's
2
doubling
assists.
Ember Spirit's net worth. Easily.
Yeah.
And Ember Spirit hasn't had a bad game by any means, but, well, by most means. He's had a bit of a rough time getting the Battle Fury, but he is going to go for what looks like a Manta right now. Or at least a Yasha.
Interesting. What can you purge off with a Manta though? Not a
Brood
whole
Silence?
lot. Brood Silence?
I guess that's what it is.
Orchid.
It has to be. Because otherwise you're just adding damage to Legion's overwhelming odds.
Yeah, but then again, wouldn't you get a Lincoln's instead, or is it just too easily triggered?
It's very easily triggered this.
Oh, they're gonna run into each other. Smokes from both teams. Now, Sedoi pops the BKB, looking for a target here.
Duel somebody!
Will find Joku just to try and lock him down. Probably won't get the duel win off of that. And now, that's actually 2-for-1 trade so far as Joku has BKB going, but the damage is being drained. BZZ got a whole lot of that. Now he starts laying in. Can actually finish him off. Yeah, Joku. That's just enough, but now Sedoi comes back in. A buyback for him, trying to clean up, and he does get that big kill streak from the Ember Spirit, but now he will fall again. Silent, still alive and kicking together with Resolution. That's a 6-man wipe here.
Ouch. If he'd gotten one more proc of overwhelming odds, he probably would have got Silent, but just wasn't quite enough. They were playing around the Blade Mail very well, and the big problem was, right when he blinked in, he wanted to duel Razor, but then he realized, I can't duel Razor, my attack speed will get slowed. Okay, I want to duel Lena. Wait a second, Shadow Fiend's here. We can lock down Shadow Fiend, and then he realized Shadow Fiend has Butterfly.
Yeah.
You don't want to duel him anymore, because you're going to miss, and he's going to hit even harder.
That was not the play, and then even the buyback, I mean, sure, you do get the kill on the Shadow Fiend, but you get so much less gold than advertised. And he ended up with a -800 net worth loss, and Yeah, they lose the tower too, so
And a
once
dual
again,
loss.
yeah,
This is 18 permanent damage going
yeah.
away with Shadow Fiend.
the
It's
dual
like
loss
9
as well,
free
yeah.
souls that don't even contribute to your maximum souls.
Yeah.
And then you always have them. You can't lose them on death. It's the Shadow Fiend dream.
Absolutely. And that's just underlined by the gold graph once again. Goals in favor of Team Empire, 7,500 gold as well as experience, and that's the highest it's been this game. Might get a little bit higher now, or maybe the other way around again. Snoopy pops his mechanism though, still being controlled up by Yol. Meanwhile, back BCZ looking for Silent here, drains a little bit of damage. As Yol finally gets picked up, but lower dance now silence up a Ghost Stick, and that will be the counter kill along with no fear. So
yeah, Rubik's been playing very well this game. He's even going for an Aghanim Scepter, which, well, I'm assuming it's an Ags. Could be anything these days, but probably an Aghanim Scepter because Lena, Lich, Beastmaster, those are all great Ags upgrades if you can feel it. So
yeah, not the easiest, but absolutely. Also allows you to cycle through these much more quickly. There. Okay, Roshan next on the table. Empire with 2 years. Oh, they're still gonna go onto Sadoi here. They're trying to bring Firsten down before the BKB gets off, and they will almost be able to. He's trying to run away, but not possible with Yoku there.
And still no buyback.
Right click in, and yeah, he just put back early, and now Silence. He knows that that's not gonna be coming back, so just shooing them off even further, kind of daring them to come back, and that's exactly what they're going to try and do. King R blinks forward, aggressive play, but don't really think they can fight this anymore. Not with Sadoi. That's one of the main controllers and damage dealers here gone. From BCZ, I mean, sure he can do damage, but it needs time to actually drain it first.
Yeah,
so
even if they
really
try
the
to jump up in and steal that, the Hawk was spotting them out, so there wasn't much hope in that situation. Razor does have some evasion up, as well as the Solar Crest coming up on Tusk, which could easily help them win some duels. Problem is, these fights are so chaotic.
Yep. Just really been everyone casting the spell pretty much the same time for the most part, as you would expect from 4, 5, and 5 team fights. But it's really hard to get the right spells off at the right heroes as well. If you just cast them all, right?
Yeah. And Amber Solutions may just add to that if that's what he ends up going for here. Haven't seen anything picked up just yet.
At this point is not what you go for, so.
I mean, with the AoE slow. Huh?
It is going to be the meta style, just pick up the recipe, and that makes a lot of sense. Just, if not for nothing else, but the silence here. Of course, you could make the argument, yeah, more fuel for overwhelming art, but you don't care about that as much, to be honest.
Yeah.
Not at this point anymore.
It makes up for the 30% amp damage you would be taking, so.
Yep. Alright. And now, Fantastic 5. They find themselves in a position that they found themselves in the last game as well, albeit much earlier there. Stuck to the high ground with Empire and complete map control.
And they do have good high ground defense too. Brood, of course, excellent at pushing things back out. Tusk, Razor, even Legion Commander can easily clear creep waves. It's just not the position they want to be in because their heroes, unless Legion gets tons of duel wins, don't scale that well into the late game. And I mean, I've kind of analyzed Legion this game assuming she's going to get those duel wins because generally you're going to draft a lineup that's going to help Legion win duels. Well, that just hasn't happened.
Yep. A couple of times where they got the duels, the Empire was already on the run and couldn't really help.
And now that they have Boots of Travel, they have the Bird Bomb.
Oh wow, yeah. On Boots of Travel, yeah, on the Beastmaster, very nice.
He's also going for what I'm gonna assume is a refresher. Could also be a Battle Fury, I guess, but...
yeah, it is going to be the refresher probably, but one thing that I also got back was the Gem of True Sight.
Yeah.
No Pierce Gem once again in Resolution's hands, so they will be able to clean up these Spiderlings, clean up any wards they come across, and now they're setting up for the high ground push. They do have the Aegis onto Yoku, that'll allow them to do that relatively safely. Also have the mechanism here. What they do not have is... what don't they have? I'm struggling to think about that.
I mean, they're not missing much at this point to just go uphill. Maybe a Solar Crest, if no one has one.
Well, it's Satanic now on Yoku, and yeah, it's just hitting from low ground, not even going to high ground here, just dealing with the fact that a lot of his hits will miss. He's hitting so hard right now that he doesn't care too much. Double straight for the range backs. That will not regenerate. The rest of his team here, notably Silent, he is trying to do his best to keep Fantastic Five out as much as they can without exploding themselves. It's only Yoku up on high ground now. And they don't want to go for
I'm not seeing how Fantastic Five want to engage, except Legion blinks in, goes for resolution, but can't even seem to do much damage. They're getting a bit of damage off. Isn't enough? They'll take him down.
Yeah,
But
taking down,
meanwhile-
Snowball comes through, BKB's popped on every side, but BZZ's is ran out, Yoku is on hand. Meanwhile, in back, Yol just tries to fight up against the entirety of Empire's lineup, just not able to make it a 2-for-1 trade. They do get the dual damage.
Uh-oh.
They still might have lost the fight.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Brood is forced to buy back as well. And Resolution's already back, by the way. He just bought back Boots
Yeah, he
Travel
got back, yeah. Want to get the roar off, and it's another big threat that FF have to be aware of. There it is, Blink roar onto BZZ. Follow up from Yoko, doesn't actually get there in time. So, they will find King off, slow him down enough to be instant. Oh, he's just been kind of runs, looking for target. Now, all of his team is dead, and so is he. Buybacks galore, but it's too late. Good game, well played is called. Empire took them a little bit longer, a little bit more of a back and forth in this game, but
Yeah.
finally got to a point again where they just started rolling over Fantastic Five.
Yeah, Fantastic Five didn't play too well in game number 1, to be honest, but this game they did at least hold their own, and they showed that they can play well. However, Empire, being a very seasoned team, just their experience came into play, and superior teamwork, superior Yoki as well. He was definitely the MVP this game, just getting as fat as could be. 742 gold per minute